I don't care if it works in practice. Does it work in theory? Principles for living. About MOSMUS. This is a well-known, within military circles, acronym for remembering the 9 principles of war, which are mass, objective, offensive, security, economy of force, maneuver, unity of command, surprise, and simplicity. These principles are intended to serve as guidelines to thoughtful action in war, and, as a rule, are not meant to be rigidly applied in any particular circumstance. Philosophers and soldiers through the ages have tried their hands in an effort to boil down military wisdom into a few fundamentals such as these. Notable military experts such as Sun Tzu, Machiavelli, von Clausewitz, J.F.C. Fuller, and many others have offered their own prescriptions. The principles included in MOSMUS, however, have survived for many decades as the official doctrine of the American military establishment. About millennials. Although this term appears in the title, I have to confess that I have difficulty sorting out the differences in time span and characteristics of baby boomers, millennials, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, and other generations yet unnamed. I'm therefore using the term millennial as a general phase for young adults of every generation. I am happy to include in this group anyone younger than myself, which, according to my reckoning, is a lot of people. This misuse of the term is kind of like an old father confusing the names of his children, and I hope readers can forgive accordingly. More than anything, it seemed to make a catchy title for this book. Can the principles of war be applied to daily living? It's probably a stretch. As a career military person, educated in a military college, my life has been shaped by many military values and attitudes that are pretty foreign to the average young person today. Nevertheless, I would like to share some of these values in the hope that they might help young people navigate the joys and trials of adulthood in today's world. In a book titled Corporate Combat, author William Peacock, also a former Marine, asserts that a military approach to business affairs could give someone a leg up over people in the civilian world who don't think this way. He states, "Today, the business person must operate daily as if the environment is a hostile and wartime situation." Peacock is overstating the issue somewhat for my purpose in this book, as I'll generally be stressing the more positive use of these principles in dealing with situations in everyday life. However, it is indeed true that there are times when the effort needed to be successful in an important endeavor could well take on the nature of a military campaign. It is also true that we sometimes find ourselves in competitive or confrontational situations where we have to be decisive and even tough, when a military approach may be the very thing needed. In war, the military strategist's purpose is victory, and the principles of war are brought to bear with this end in mind. In everyday life, our purpose is different from the military strategist, but nevertheless needs to be clearly defined. So some discussion about purpose is in order and follows in the next section. At that time, Jesus said, "I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise and learned and revealed them to little children." Matthew 11:25.